Now at 5, the latest on a lawsuit from the city of Neosho against Newton County over TIF payments.
Attorney General Merrick Garland back in front of lawmakers over claims the DOJ is being politicized. I'm Skyler Henry on Capitol Hill with the wide-ranging concerns senators on both sides have.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We're learning more about a lawsuit filed by the city of Neosho against Newton County. This is KOAM News at 5. City filed the suit earlier this month to recover TIF money that Newton County has not paid to the city. The TIF was established in 1999 to help fund improvements within the city. The county made payments to the city until September of 2015. According to documents received by KOAM, the last payment the city received was for just over $24,000.
The county has an obligation under state law to collect, allocate, and pay that money, and it just hasn't done it. And so now the city hopes to recover that money, along with the interest that might be due from non-payment of that money over that period of time.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from the attorney representing the city, as well as what Newton County's presiding commissioner had to say about the suit. Freeman Health System today held its COVID media briefing discussing the neurological side effect of COVID-19. The National Institutes of Health created a database to track neurological symptoms associated with COVID. Those symptoms can include headache, loss of smell, or rarer problems such as stroke or brain disease or other brain damage. However, some area medical professionals are noticing another trend. Some people who were initially asymptomatic, had COVID without even knowing it, are showing long hauler symptoms.
Sometimes the long COVID or the long haulers, it has nothing to do with the severity of COVID-19 acute symptoms they had. So our patients, if you check their antibodies later, they have antibodies, if they were not vaccinated. And then you realize that they did had an infection at some time, and they still have symptoms of chronic fatigue, headaches, mental fog, and they were not sick with COVID.
Dr. Opal says it's important to seek medical attention if you experience any of the neurological symptoms associated with COVID-19. Doug Hetty, as expected, it's rainy and cold out there.
Yeah, cold and wet, and this is what we're going to see as we go through the evening hours, and then once again as we head into Thursday as well. The rain really picked up late morning into the early afternoon hours. We've had one big band go through, and now a second band is developing back across northeastern parts of Oklahoma, and this is what we are going to continue to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. And you can see these showers and thunderstorms are really increasing kind of in northeastern Oklahoma. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but we are going to pick up some very heavy amounts of rain. I think most areas have picked up already about a quarter to a half an inch of rain. Temperatures chilly, mid to upper 50s to near 60 degrees. And as we go through the overnight hours, the rain really picks up again as we go through the evening hours. And this sticks around tonight, tomorrow, even into Friday. So we're going to break it down for you here in just a bit.
Catch you then. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland was back in the hot seat today, testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. The panel is holding an oversight hearing into the Justice Department, the first since 2017, but one topic in particular has dominated the proceedings. Reporter Skyler Henry has more from Capitol Hill.
I do. Republican senators quickly and repeatedly questioned Attorney General Merrick Garland over a Justice Department memo addressing threats to school boards across the country.
Did you consider the chilling impact your memorandum would have on parents exercising their constitutional rights?
The only thing this memorandum is about is violence and threats of violence.
The memo directs the FBI to take steps to work with state and local officials responding to harassment and threats to school officials. It followed a National School Boards Association letter to the president likening so-called heinous actions to domestic terrorism, language the NSBA has since apologized for.
Language in the letter that we did not rely on and is not contained in my own memorandum.
Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse accused Garland of politicizing the Justice Department.
This is not about the American parent.
I know, it's about the politicization of DOJ, and you decided to submit as a vessel, and you know better.
I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that, Senator.
Senators from both parties demanded answers from the DOJ on a wide range of issues, including how the department botched the investigation into former USA Gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar.
The department is revisiting its decision not to criminally charge 2 former FBI agents.
New evidence has come to light, and that has caused for a review of the matters that you're discussing.
Also on the DOJ's plate, how it'll handle former Trump advisor Steve Bannon, who last week was held in contempt of Congress, and whether the department will file criminal charges against him. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
2 Republican senators from our region, Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri and Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, have called for Garland to resign. Still ahead, getting a head start on gifts this year.
'Tis the season for shopping. I'm Naomi Ruckham with a look at how much Americans will be spending on holiday gifts this year.
And next in Health Watch, what research shows about how we can bridge the gap when it comes to breast cancer disparities. Topping today's Health Watch, chicken nuggets, burritos, and cheeseburgers from your favorite fast food joint might contain chemicals linked to serious health problems. Researchers at the George Washington University sampled 64 fast food items from several restaurants. More than 80% included phthalates, which are used to make plastic soft and are known to disrupt the endocrine system. Chicken burritos and cheeseburgers had the highest levels of chemicals, while cheese pizzas had the lowest. New research shows COVID-19 vaccines are safe for people with a history of severe allergic reactions. The study included more than 50,000 employees in the Mass General Brigham Health System. The survey showed that while those with a history of severe allergic reactions reported more allergic symptoms after the vaccine, more than 97% were still able to get both doses. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There are disparities in treatment and survival of breast cancer for Black women. Reporter Michael George has more on what could help bridge the gap.
Darlene Bassett Waters gets annual mammograms, and the 53-year-old has a message for other women after having 2 breast cancers identified early.
Don't put it off. If I would have put it off, where would I be?
Research shows significant disparities for Black women in breast cancer detection and treatment. While Black and white women get breast cancer at about the same rates, Black women are 40% more likely to die from the disease and are also more likely to be diagnosed before age 40, when annual screenings typically start.
So we're dealing with the fact that Black women are more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer that would not have been caught early by screening mammography. It's more likely to have been caught after they develop a symptom or a mass, which means it's typically later stage.
Dr. Lola Fayanju is a breast surgeon at Penn Medicine. She says with the risks for Black women, especially younger Black women, she encourages them to have a breast cancer risk assessment with their doctor at age 30 and also do self-breast exams.
So those are the real messages I'd want to convey to my fellow Black women, is that know your body, know your family history, take ownership of your health, and really definitely begin screening at 40, if not sooner, if you're found to have a family history that makes you at risk for a higher risk for breast cancer.
It's something Darlene wants her daughters to know.
My story to them was, this is the reason why we need to take care of our bodies.
Because she knows firsthand the importance of early detection and treatment. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Black women are also more likely to develop a specific type of aggressive breast cancer called triple-negative breast cancer, which has a poor prognosis because there's a lack of effective treatments for that disease. Looking at people while they're talking makes it much easier for us to digest just what they're saying. A study published in the Journal of the Acoustical Society of America found that seeing a person's face significantly improves how well we understand them, especially in noisy places where other people are talking. Researchers also found that people were less engaged when another voice tried to distract them. No surprise there. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about Halloween candy.
Plus, it's been cold and rainy all day long. How long is this going to stick around? We're going to check that out coming up. It has definitely turned out to be a very cold and kind of windy, raw, nasty day across the region. We've had showers, even a few thunderstorms out there earlier today. And now it's just kind of a good old rain. Most areas have picked up 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. Some areas higher than that, but you can see the bands of showers rolling through the region. This first big band really moved in late morning into the early afternoon. Now you can see it all regenerating once again right across northeastern parts of Oklahoma and lifting off toward the north into the east as we go through the evening hours. But you can see showers, even a few random little thunder showers, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, and then stretching back into southwestern parts of Missouri. But we had a little bit of a break in southwestern Missouri, but now everything is just kind of really filling back in. But our temperatures have been fairly steady all day long. We've been sitting into the mid to upper 50s to near 60 degrees. And this is where we're going to kind of hold as we go through the evening hours, and then we're going to start to drop off once again later on tonight. So this batch that is really getting going right now increases across the region. You want to go ahead and switch it? I knew what you were going after. Thanks, Nick. He's got my back on the computer. All right, there we go. But so as this batch continues to increase, we're going to continue to see those showers and thunderstorms increasing once again. You can see Joplin proper right now getting a little bit of a break, and then it's going to really pick up. But rainfall amounts, so where you see these darker greens, we're at a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And then you can see a 1/2 inch to 1 inch in southwestern Missouri. These kind of bluish colors, that is kind of a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of rain. So we're getting some decent amounts. And as the rain sticks around, as we go through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow, we're going to get some pretty good amounts. Temperatures kind of chilly. Doesn't look very good outside, 7th and range line. Sitting at 57 east winds at about 10. Humidity, of course, is high. Through the evening hours, we slowly drop back through the 50s. So tomorrow's going to be even a colder, nasty, rainy day, as this system is a very slow mover. We're on the front side of the system. Eventually, we're going to get on the back side of the system later on tonight into the morning hours tomorrow. You can see how it's digging deep into the southern plains. So when this system comes back around in about, about a week before Christmas, that could be a big snowmaker for us. Let's go through time, through the overnight hours, bands of showers, maybe a random little thunderstorm. See how the rain starts to rotate from north to south? That's on the back side of the system. But by 4 a.m., still rain. We just get periods of rain. So now we're at 8 a.m. It's cold. It's about 50 degrees. Rain continues all day long. We can go into the afternoon hours. Temperatures chilly, starting at 51. We may drop into the upper 40s by the afternoon. So it's going to be a raw, nasty day for us tomorrow. Showers continue tomorrow night all the way into Friday morning, and then finally we'll start to see a break, and then we'll clear out just in time for the weekend. Again, we've already picked up most areas about a 1/2 inch of rain. We're going to pick up an additional 1.5 to 2 inches before this system is out of here. But look at the weekend. 62 by Saturday, 64 on Halloween. So Halloween weekend looks pretty good, and then we get cold again with rain moving back in early next week. But at least the weekend looks good.
Both drier and sunnier. Both of those will be welcome.
We're going to have to mow.
Eventually, for sure. Thanks, Doug. Coming up, a new report on consumer confidence in our nation. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Robert Olt served in the U.S. Navy from 1968 to 1972. The Carl Junction, Missouri native was stationed in Vietnam, and we salute Radioman Petty Officer 3rd Class Robert Olt, a 4-state hero.
Doug Hetty has a...
Topping today's Consumer Watch, American consumers are feeling good about spending money just in time for the holiday shopping season. According to the Conference Board, the Consumer Confidence Index rose to 113.8 points in October, reversing a 3-month downward trend. It was the highest level since July, when the index stood at 125.1 points. Nearly half of the respondents say they intend to take a vacation in the next 6 months, the highest level of prospective travelers since before the pandemic. Christmas is just a couple months away, but shoppers are already buying those holiday gifts. Reporter Naomi Ruckham looks at how much people are spending and the unique challenges facing retailers.
Christmas is already in full swing at House of Holiday in New York. The place is packed with decorations and plenty of potential presents. Shopper Christina Ng says it's never too early to start grabbing gifts.
To be honest with you, I started last month. So, yeah, I try to get it done as early as possible.
And it looks like Americans are spending more this year. The National Retail Federation predicts holiday shopping sales will reach a record of between $843 and $859 billion. Much of that money will be spent online. E-commerce and other non-store sales could hit up to $226 billion.
Why do you think spending is so high this year?
Well, consumers are really in a very favorable position this year. We have had the benefit of the stimulus. Certainly incomes have grown.
But this year's shopping selection could be limited because of supply chain issues. A bottleneck of ships at U.S. ports and a trucker shortage are making it harder for retailers to get products on store shelves.
This is the Village.
House of Holiday owner Larry Garino says he has most of his stock in, but may not get everything until Thanksgiving.
Most of our materials are on the water coming over from China, and the ships are sitting there and they can't get unloaded in time.
That's why experts are telling consumers to shop soon.
Christmas gifts and toys, they're going to be short supplied. So you're going to need to buy a little earlier and help Santa out.
Garino is already seeing shoppers in force and expects to have his best year in sales. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, Queens, New York.
The National Retail Federation says prices for gifts are likely to be higher this year because of inflation. Delta Airlines is testing new facial recognition technology to reduce the time it takes between arriving at the airport and getting to your seat. Members of Delta's loyalty program, SkyMiles, who upload passport details and have TSA pre-check, can soon participate. People who don't want to share their biometric information with the airline, they can opt out if they choose. If successful, it'll reduce the need for agents while streamlining check-ins so people could move through security in seconds. Delta is partnering with the TSA for the program and wants to be the first to offer full curb-to-gate security centered around facial recognition. Our pet vet on call next.
Is provided by
Roper Honda.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, a civil lawsuit is filed against the organizers of 2017 Unite the Right rally that turned deadly. Then on KOAM News at 6, Joplin police discuss a report on some suspected arsons around the city. Plus, we're going to have more on a lawsuit between the city of Neosho and Newton County over TIF payments. And a 10-year-old Kansas powerlifter pushes himself to new heights. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Sometimes candy can be more trick than treat. Today's question for our pet vet on call: are any Halloween candies okay for dogs?
No, not really. There aren't very many Halloween candies that are good for humans either. It's all processed sugar, not the healthiest of choices. However, having said that, we all eat candy and we do fine as long as it's in moderation, and dogs are a lot like humans. So if your dog has a sweet tooth, giving him his favorite piece of candy every once in a while won't hurt a thing, unless of course he's diabetic, and then always, always avoid chocolate.
It's a good question, and we invite questions from anyone. If you have one, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week from the Joplin Humane Society. First, we have Axel, a black Mastiff mix male puppy. And we have an adult female domestic short-hair cat named Fiddle. The shelter says she's friendly and playful. She also has a great name, by the way. If you're looking for a pet, why not? Check out your local Humane Society. And of course, once you get it home, you're free to rename it as you choose. But I like those names. Axel and Fiddle.
Actually.
Not a good night to be taking the pet out. It is raining cats and dogs.
It is, and it's going to continue. And if you like today's beautiful weather, tomorrow's going to be even much worse because it's going to get colder. We're going to have showers on and off throughout the overnight hours tonight, even a couple rumbles of thunder. Rain all day long tomorrow. It's going to be light rain, but it's just going to be a nasty day. And this lasts all the way through the first half of Friday. And then finally we start to dry out.
Thanks for joining us again. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.